the people from the Soviet Union, Russia, came in the 90s. Now, they came here, they liked the weather, they had good accommodation, and all together it became, and many artists came here. Now, you have to realize that part of the guidelines that were given to immigrants from Russia, especially to those who were artists, was telling them where they can succeed being artists. They needed a place like Tsfat to have a chance. So that's how it worked. Many of them came here. Maybe 1/3 of the whole artist community here are people who came from Russia. Approximately 1/3. Very good artists, and even interesting situation, which means you can find an artist which was a very famous artist in Russia, came here, and you see the change in his art, in his creation way, the way he sees things. The most obvious thing is sometimes you look at paintings and you see that in Russia they were dark, and in here they are totally different. The whole atmosphere has been changed, and probably the view of the artist on life. And it all reflects in the paintings. Unbelievable. So that's one of it. Now, the whole, and one more thing happened. The Kabbalah became something very popular. Kabbalah for everybody. Now, the Kabbalah for everybody automatically had to do with Tsfat, which is the birthplace of Kabbalah. Now, here, not only you feel it by yourself, not only that it was written, the Kabbalah was written here, but also the whole environment and the whole atmosphere here is very for this. You feel it. You can feel the atmosphere. You can cut the atmosphere like sometimes you can cut the atmosphere and feel the way it is. You know that in the 80s there was a very famous American artist here by the name of Philip. It is. You know that in the 80s there was a very famous American artist here by the name of Philip Ratner. He's the one that his sculptures are in Ellis Island. Remember when it was 210 years for the United States, there was a big celebration. They renewed Ellis Island. Leah Yakoka was the chairman for the fund that raised money for all this activity. Now the artist that was the sole artist with the sculptures in Ellis Island is Philip Ratner. Now he came here and opened a Bible museum here, which is his creation with the inspiration of the Bible.
Jewish man.
Jewish man, of course. And he was close to Chabad, and it was a very interesting. It was a very interesting issue because we together had the feeling there's magic in the air, and that's how we saw. We had what do you call it? No, it's like a plaque, big plaque, saying there's magic in the air. That's how we promoted Tsfat the 80s. Very spiritual, but not yet with the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah started to pick up in the past maybe 8 years, and since then, every day new galleries are opened here. More artists are coming, more people who has the Kabbalah inspiration. Some of them are non-religious at all, but still they have the special something which makes the difference.
Spirituality.
Spirituality, that's it. Now everybody sees it from a different angle. Of course they become closer to religious, closer to roots. But if you pass today, you know, we have what we call the Judaica market, you know, the street where they have most of the galleries and all the items. You see today it's doubled its number of galleries in the past 5 years, more than doubled, more.
You know how many there are by the chance? I heard there was
probably
40.
about 100.
Wow.
Now they're all part of the new wave, the new spirit, Tsfat. And to tell you the truth, that's what we're trying now to promote, which means every place that is trying to sell tourism is competing the other. We claim that there is something special here that nobody else can copy, because this is the original. It's not for nothing that the famous Madonna is coming here to the grave of Harari, and she visits Israel, and she have a convention with her people. No matter, you know, there are different kind of, let's say, sections or whatever you call it, but still they're all aiming to one. By the end of the day, it's all aiming the same direction.
It's beautiful to have such an appreciation.
Okay, so that's what became of Tsfat. Nevertheless, the atmosphere here is wonderful. You're coming from Miami?
Orlando.
Orlando, okay. It's about the same weather, right? So you can feel here. Even if it's warm during the daytime, in the evening it's cool. So that's part of the reasons why Tsfat still have its charm, not only spiritual, but also weather-wise.
Oh, it's beautiful weather, the scenery, it's amazing. I'm from Orlando, which is Disney World, Universal Studios.
I know, I've been there.
And as a person that knows tourism, I see busloads of people coming through here. Busloads and busloads.
That's part of the problem. Busloads of people who comes here sometimes blocked the options of development. And people comes here for mostly 2-3 hours. Now 2-3 hours they don't spend money here, or they spend money on very specific items like art or souvenirs, but they don't leave enough money in town. They don't stay in hotels. That's why we don't have enough hotel rooms, which is part of our goals to the future. That's what we have in mind doing. Improve or have more rooms, new hotels, which is agreed with the Ministry of Tourism, but we still need the entrepreneurs to do it, investors to do it, because it's done not by the government, but private investors.
You work with the Ministry of Tourism.
Well, yeah, as a general rule, we can say so. I'm not working for them, I'm working with them. Okay? I used to work for them. I used to be the government, the general director of the Government Tourist Corporation. Many years ago.
It's different. What they do is different than what you do.
They don't do. They support. It's different because we do. They don't. They support. They help you to promote yourself. They would give money sometimes, not always. They will subsidize or put grants into hotels. If you go by the law, capital investment, so, and you do according to the book, so you can get a grant from the government.
How is it now that you mentioned investment? People are investing now in Tsfat?
Yeah, but yet mostly small investments.